Well, hello, With Gratitude Matt listeners. My name is Matt Moran, and I'm the host for the With Gratitude Matt show. Our goal with the show is to inspire our listening audience to practice gratitude regardless of how powerful the storm is right in front of them. And we've learned through the practice of gratitude, it works much like a muscle. The more you use it, the more it expands. Today's show is going to take a little bit of a unique twist. Over the last couple of years, we've had over 50 amazing guests show their vulnerability and share with you what struggles they've faced in their life and how they've gotten stronger through that experience. And some of them have leaned into their faith, some of them have leaned into their friends, and some of them have used just raw grit to get stronger through the hurdles that they've faced in their life. And you'll hear from some of them in just a short minute as to how they participated in the With Gratitude Matt show. So what I'd like to do before you listen to those guests, share brief experiences as it relates to the way they joined us on the With Gratitude Matt show. I'd like to share with you what I'm most grateful for as we move into 23. And I have to start with the faith in the presence that God has in my life. I would be nowhere without him, and I'm so grateful for that. The one that helps me most enrich that is my wife. I am so grateful that she puts God first because it allows me to enrich my relationship with Jesus Christ. And Mary, I thank you for that. Secondly, I'm grateful for my girls. They make me laugh each and every day. And for those that you are trying to get out of a ditch, sometimes just find something that's humorous because it can change how you're thinking that particular day. In Angelina and Caitlin, you do just that for me. So thank you. And it's also my friends and my family. They bring levity to me each and every day. And without laughter, sometimes my emotion might turn to tears. And I'd much rather laugh than cry. Trust me. So those are the things that I'm probably most grateful. It's my faith, my relationship I have with Mary, my two girls, my extended family and friends, and thank you for all those that are listening. You make a difference in my life. So what I'd like to also share with you, after we hear from our guests that have been on our show, many of our listening audience, our loyal listeners, have been kind enough to share with you what they've learned throughout the last couple of years and being avid listeners to the With Gratitude Matt show. Thank you to all.
Hey, this is Dr. Roy Vongtama. My show date was July 17th, 2020. What I'm most grateful for heading into the holiday season is my wife, my great friends, and my family. So basically all the relationships that make my life so rich and so meaningful. And of course to you, Matt, thanks so much for having me on your podcast and wishing everybody the happiest of holidays. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Mary Moran and I am Matt's wife. I can't believe it has been almost 4 years since Matt and I began this cancer journey. There's certainly been many highs and lows, but many of the highs have come from this podcast and all of the amazing and inspirational guests that Matt's had on the show. Of course, I love hearing everybody's story, but I'm very fortunate to have the opportunity to have Matt as my husband and being able to witness daily his resilience and strength. I see him exercising. I see him working hard in his office. I see him coaching our daughters, meeting new people, and meeting with our doctors down in Boston. And he does this all with gratitude and with a smile. Matt always asks us in his podcast, he always says, how are you feeding your mind, body, and soul? I won't get into what Matt's feeding himself lately, but I will say that Matt is feeding his soul through his faith in God. He's feeding his soul through this podcast and all of the amazing stories and words of advice from his guests. I see Matt feeding his mind through laughter, through joy, and through grit. He definitely practices gratitude in the face of his disease. And this has inspired me and encouraged me to pursue my own goals and aspirations over the last 4 years. I certainly take each day as it comes, and I truly remember what matters. So thank you so much to all of our faithful listeners. Thank you to Matt for continuing to inspire us all. Have a great day, and Godspeed, my friends.
Hi, I'm Paul Zuccarelli. I was on Matt Moran's show on January 24th, 2022. Our family is most grateful for the gift of God's Son, our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. We're all going to have to prepare for our exit interview with Jesus, so let us worship and praise Him on earth. May God bless you and keep you, and may His perpetual light shine upon you and give you grace. Oremus pro et visum. Let us pray for one another. Amen.
What's up, guys? This is Luke Kuechly. I recorded my podcast on November 29th, 2021. And looking back on this year and then obviously moving forward to 2023, I think something that I'm very fortunate and gracious for and always will be is just the family that I have. I'm back here up in Cincinnati for Christmas, and the encouragement and support that I've always received from my family, both my mom and my dad and both my brothers, is something that I've never taken for granted, and I'm very fortunate for. So just wanted to say Merry Christmas to everybody and hope everybody has a great 2023.
Hi, my name is Laura Smith, and I was on the November 16th, 2020 episode of the podcast. This year, I am so grateful for how God has looked after my kiddos. As a mama, my heart goes out and is always wants the best for them. And this past year, 3 of our kids are so big, they are out of the house, and it's just been beautiful to see the way God has provided them with incredible roommates that really are good for our kids, and how He has provided them with ways to connect with Him, with faith communities where they can engage in their own relationship with the Lord. And it's just a beautiful reminder to me that God loves our kiddos even more than we do. So I am ending the year with a heart full of gratitude.
Hello everybody, my name is Dan DeStefano, and I was on episode 53 on the With Gratitude Matt podcast. Some of the things I'm grateful for are pretty simple. Some of the things we take for granted. One being my sight. Without sight, I would never be able to see the gorgeous, most beautiful things that God has created for us. Secondly, my hearing. Without hearing, I would never be able to listen to music or listen to laughter, which is critical for everyday life for me. More importantly, I'm extremely grateful for my friends and my family, especially my father, my children, and my loving wife. Without them, I wouldn't be able to wake up and do what I do. Their love and support gets me through everything, and I cannot thank them enough. And lastly, I'm thankful for a forgiving and loving God who gives us the opportunity to fail and gives us the hope of tomorrow. I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and be grateful for everything that you have. Lastly, I'm grateful for Matt Moran and this podcast and the platform he gave me and the platform that he has to inspire everybody through his walk and his fight with his cancer. Thank you, everybody. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Hi, it's Bill Moran. I wanted to thank Matt and all of his With Gratitude Matt guests for some inspiring stories of hope. I have really enjoyed listening to all of your episodes, and the two that stick out to me are Dr. Roy Von Tama and his 4 Houses of Health. And I've tried to incorporate that in a weekly gratitude journal that I keep. The other episode that I found amazingly inspiring was of Coleman Ruiz and Hell Week. And the message that he had was when they were in cold water and they were in very challenging circumstances, sleep deprived, he said, water is neither cold nor hot, it's just water. And I use that little phrase to remind me that I can get through this, that I have trained my mind, I have faith in God, and that I can get through challenging times. And when things get a little tough, I just tell myself, Bill, it's just water, and I can do it. So Matt, thank you and all of your guests for some just amazing messages of hope and certainly of gratitude. Here's to continued success. Thank you.
Hey Matt, Marty Angel. Hey, you asked me 3 things. The first one I'll go for is the grateful thing. So going into 2023, I'm most grateful for my wife, Amy, and our parish family, and my whole family. We had our first grandbaby in December, so I'm grateful for that for sure. The second thing I think you asked is a favorite episode, or podcast of yours, which all of them are great, but haven't listened to all of them. But gotta love Eric Zimmerman, EZ. That was a good podcast, as well as the guy from the Bahamas, and your latest one, Kathy from Cincinnati and her son Andrew. Love that. And finally, what was the last thing? Oh, how did we meet? Yeah, how did we connect? That was that's a great story. We've known each other since college at X, but also we reconnected through my brother and you on the side of I-80 or something like that, some exit. You guys were both driving back from Boston, and you met each other, and then through Chris, my brother, you and I reconnected. All right, man. Have a great 2023. Thanks for all that you do. Peace.
Woody Sherwood here. My air date on With Gratitude, Matt, was February 8th, 2021. And I'm going to get 2 things that I'm grateful for. One was just this week, out walking my dog. I was fortunate enough to see a woman backing out of her driveway with a garbage can directly in the way. Her rear park assist alert must have started beeping at her. She stopped inches from it, cracked her door, leaned out, didn't see anything, put it in reverse, and continued to mow down the garbage can. So for me, I was extremely grateful to be able to capture and be part of that hilarious moment. And do not let your kids or dogs out on Kaywood Drive would be the other thing you'd want to know on that. Number 2, I'm grateful that I have a really special network of great and trusted friends that I can go to and count on for absolutely anything in my life.
Hello, With Gratitude, Matt listeners. This is longtime listener, first-time caller, Liam Moran. I've been a fan of the podcast for a long time and a fan of Matt Moran for an even longer time. I have the pleasure of being Matt's nephew, and I'm incredibly grateful he's taken it upon himself to share his story, as well as so many other stories of gratitude with all of us. While I love every episode, one of my favorite episodes was the one with Will and Pete Smith. Pete, Will's father, was the Kenyon College athletic director during my time on the Kenyon swimming team. He also happened to be a former swimmer and coach, and as such, he and his family, including Will, were around the pool deck often. During my 4 years, I had the privilege of getting to know both Will and Pete. Will always greeted everyone with a friendly smile and a wave, and more so brought an energy of happiness to those around him. I'm grateful that they've shared their story with Gratitude Matt listeners. Their resilience and zest for life in the face of so much adversity is truly inspiring. They've helped me to understand that despite what limitations you may think you have, you can truly do anything if you believe, and more than that, live a life of positive gratitude. As we move into 2023, I'm incredibly grateful for all the support from my friends and family. These support groups have continually and unconditionally helped me through life's daily challenges. Matt, I also wanted to thank you for sharing your story with all of us and for always teaching us a few lessons on gratitude. Godspeed, Matt.
Hi, my name is Susan Fulton, and some of the things I'm most grateful for from the past year have actually been a quieter schedule where I've had more time to nurture relationships, to spend with the Lord, and just to see evidences of His grace in my daily life. I'm so thankful to have done this podcast, Gratitude with Matt, which has given me a lot of opportunity to share my story with my friends and family in a simple way. So thank you, and God bless you in 2023.
Hello, my name is Rodney Blunt from City Streets and Student Athletes. My show aired June 13th, 2022. I am so grateful for the relationships that I built in 2022. I have some real keepers, but most important, my relationship with God. Listen, when things get hard and you get weary and you don't see no out, just remember, ain't nothing too hard for God.
Hey, my name is Michael Merrigan, and I was fortunate to be on the April 16th, 2022 Matt with Gratitude podcast. And I just want to say that since that day, I'm still as grateful as ever before for my family, my friends, and my faith that have just been as strong as ever, and has just allowed me to continue to be successful and happy with my everyday life. So thanks again. Happy holidays and New Year to everybody.
Hey, Matt. Andy Hill. My show aired February 22nd, 2021. I'm grateful for my family, my friends. I'm grateful for you. So have a great holiday.
Hi, it's Andrew Miller, and I started listening to With Gratitude Matt after the Jonathan Sams episode was passed along to me in a group chat I'm a part of with some amazing men, many retired from the military, special teams, special forces, and Jonathan's message of not having a choice in the matter to fight and needing to become a warrior was something that personally resonated with me, especially throughout the last year or so. And the amazing thing about getting that episode passed along to me is that I got to find out that one of my colleagues, Matt Moran, had this awesome passion project, and I had no clue about it. So I was able to see Matt personally before the end of the year and thank him, and I'm very appreciative for him and his guests and the messages that are put out in this podcast. As I look ahead in 2023, I'm always grateful for my daughters, my family, my friends who surround me with nothing but love, and just this amazing gift of life. May we continue to live it out in every way, shape, and form we can. Thank you, Matt.
Hi, this is Mike Cosgrove. I've been listening to my brother-in-law Matt Moran's podcast since the beginning. And one of the first episodes was with Eric Zimmerman, and his message was to try to be a champion and not be a victim. And in 2023, that's what I'm going to focus on. And I hope everyone has a great year. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hello and good morning with Gratitude Matt listeners. My name is Christy Lawn, and it is such a privilege to be back on the show after first being featured on November 2nd, 2020. Can't believe it's already been 4 years since I first met Matt at a leadership conference in Annapolis, Maryland. Since then, I have been able to become his coach and even more so his friend. And I think it's really special to be able to speak on this show because I remember so clearly in our early conversations asking Matt, have you ever thought about building a podcast? I knew he had this amazing message and wanted to show people no matter what they're facing, they can have gratitude. And I felt like by the next time that we spoke, he already had a team in place. Now, a few years later, he already has 57 episodes and has spoken on a national platform at his national sales meeting about the power of gratitude. Matt just is this incredible human being who is able to live with such grace, even though he is facing something that is extremely difficult. I mean, one, hearing that you have cancer is scary, and it is extremely difficult to be able to wake up each day and to have faith and trust that there's purpose behind this diagnosis and through this hurdle in life. And he does that. Looking at 2023, I'm grateful that people like Matt even exist in the world. he continuously reinstills my sense of faith and my sense to just trust the world that it has a plan for us, even if we can't see it at the time. I'm also grateful that I have a daughter, and she challenges me in such a good way and makes me think about what type of person do I want to be? What type of role model do I want to be for her? And my daughter has given me the courage to apply to school to not only further support people like Matt who are living with cancer, but also to support people who are living with any sort of chronic health condition, and that they'll be able to have access to the treatments that they need and have novel approaches at their fingertips. So I'm grateful for Matt, I'm grateful for my daughter, and I'm grateful for Johns Hopkins for believing in me and my unique research area and for giving me the funding I need to make this leap in 2023. I want you and all of your listeners to know that they are capable of living their dreams. They are capable of living beyond their condition. Just have faith, have gratitude, and keep going. Thank you so much, Matt.
Hi, With Gratitude Matt listeners. My name is Julia Moran, and I am lucky enough to say that I am the niece to Matt Moran. I wanted to quickly say thank you to my Uncle Matt, as well as the shining stars of his podcast. Through hearing your stories, I am able to keep a smile on my face on a day-to-day basis and really find gratitude in places that I wouldn't. Specifically in the podcast, I have found daily life changes through Christy Luan. Christy Luan focuses on finding power in the pause. I live in New York City, and work can be busy as well as keeping up with plans, but finding power in this pause has helped me find more care and compassion for myself as well as others in a day-to-day life. Oftentimes when I get busy at the office, I realize that if I take a deep breath and take a couple steps back, this pause will refresh me and feel God's presence. As we move forward into 2023, I'm really most grateful for my family. My family is my rock, and they are there for me whenever I need them. Oftentimes, I'm shocked by their love and compassion for me, and it truly is unconditional love. I'm so grateful for them, and I love them so dearly. And secondly, I am most grateful for my faith. My faith is ever so developing, and as I turn 24, I feel closer to God more than ever. My office is right near St. Patrick's, and this podcast, as well as your stories, helps me to stop in there on a weekly basis and really have a conversation with God. So thank you all for your wonderful podcast. You're changing my life as well as the lives of others, and I hope that you have a great year.
I've become aware of Matt's podcast through my friendship with him. I have to say the title is fitting because I've always known Matt to be a grateful and positive person, and this podcast is just another great way for him to spread this to more people. Episode 48, with a friend of mine, Rodney Blunt, I think the title says it all. Measure your success by how many you bless. So going into 2023, I'm grateful for friends like Matt, Rodney being here and around me. And I'm also grateful that hopefully I can do the same for others, learning from their lessons.
Hello, everyone. My name is John Sabatello. And back in November of 2021, I had the honor of being part of the Gratitude with Matt podcast. Speaking of gratitude, I start my day off every day with a gratitude walk. It gives me a time to reflect. I reflect on the past. I reflect on the future. And obviously, I reflect on what's going on today. I'm just so thankful for where I am in my life today. But I'm also thankful and know and understand I wouldn't be where I am today without the people that I've met, my strong and beautiful family, my close friends. It doesn't happen alone. I'm thankful for my health, my friends, my family, my business partner, who happens to be one of my closest friends, the team that I play with each and every day, that being my work team. Humility, extremely important. You never want to forget where you came from or how you got to where you are today. I work really hard at that. As we enter into the holiday season, which to me is the greatest time of all. We all know we're kids at heart. But it's a time of joy. It's a time to be with family and close friends and celebrate. Celebrate a special holiday, but also celebrate the near closing of another year. As we close out 22 and we get to enter 23, I'm so grateful that I'm able to be part of something special. As we hit 23, we're going to hit the ground running. We're going to make it a great year. So, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. May 23 be a safe, healthy, and prosperous year for all of us. Thank you so much.
Hey, I want you to know that Gratitude with Matt has had a profound impact on my life since you started it in 2020. Especially inspirational to me was the episode Pregnant with Cancer. It was an incredible display of strength and faith in a time of adversity. And it came at a time in my life where I needed more strength and faith. I thank you for it. I especially enjoyed your episode where you interviewed yourself. And my takeaway from that was your quote, "Pay attention to what you feed your mind, body, and soul." Matt, in 2023, I'm very grateful for my loving family, my beautiful wife, my incredible children, my siblings, especially those that are caring for my mom. And Matt, I'm very thankful that you've shared your journey with us because it helps us in our journey. Keep the faith.
Hi, I'm Bob Cleary, and I had the privilege of being episode number 20 on Matt Moran's terrific podcast that has positively impacted so many lives. As we approach the 3-year anniversary of my 2-week stay in intensive care, critically ill with COVID-19, I am grateful for every day and to once again be able to spend the holiday season with my beautiful wife and 6 children, my brothers and sisters, and nieces and nephews. I wish all of you all the best in 2023.
Good morning. My name is Rob Logan, and I appreciate the opportunity to create a short video clip on behalf of one of my friends and business partners, Matt Moran. Matt and I have had the opportunity to work together at Principal for over 15 years, and over that time frame, we've become very, very close. I was actually with Matt in 2015 when he found out the unfortunate news that he had cancer, and was sitting next to him physically at a conference in San Diego in 2018 when he found out the news that cancer had returned. Over that time frame, Matt has been a true inspiration to me, not only the way I've watched him heroically fight the battle against cancer and win, but the way he seized and lived life to the fullest each day, despite all the things that he was going through. He's given me many new perspectives in life through the lessons that he has taught with him and his guests through his podcast, Gratitude Matt. The work that he has done to create awareness around kidney cancer, and the perspectives that he has given our sales team at Principal around the concepts of gratitude and thankfulness, which aren't always easy for salespeople to appreciate. You know, as I think about 2023 and what I'm most grateful for, it would be my family, my friends, and my faith. You know, we live in a pretty demanding world, and I think without those 3, it would be pretty difficult to make it through. So here's to a great 2023. Matt, I want to thank you for your friendship, the lessons that you have taught me, and I love you very much.
Hello with Gratitude Matt listeners. My name is Maura Veach, and I am the youngest sister of your host, Matt Moran.
I'm Luke Veach, the nephew of Matt Moran.
And I just wanted to come on here and tell everyone that there are so many lessons and so many wonderful aspects that I've learned from the With Gratitude Matt podcast. I really can't say what my favorite podcast is. I kind of have this thing, I listen to Matt's podcast and then I'll call him and we'll critique it together. And then it just leads into a really fun conversation. I would say thank you to all the guests on the show for just getting on and telling your true stories, being real, opening yourselves up to all of us. You are an inspiration. And Matt, along with all of your guests, you are touching people's lives beyond that you'll ever even comprehend. So thank you for that. I would say the biggest and the greatest, gift that I've received from With Gratitude Matt, being as a family, one of the biggest fans, is sometimes my husband Mike and I and Luke will sit down and we'll listen to the podcast together. And it's just really beautiful. It just simply flows into a natural conversation. And we really talk and get to know each other better and talk about emotions and what we're grateful for. And I just think that's a really neat and special thing that my family has. And that's thanks to With Gratitude Matt. So I would actually challenge a lot of you listeners, sit down with your children, your husband, your wife, even a book club. Just listen to the podcast together. Let the conversation open and flow naturally. I think you'll be really pleasantly surprised at where it goes and what people are grateful for. So it has really taught me to be in the present, and I treasure that. So thank you for that.
You know, kind of much like my mom said, not a certain episode sticks out to me. It's kind of more the overall message. And to me, that's to take everything positive out of life, no matter what's going on. And you know, as Uncle Matt goes through and battles kidney cancer, you know, that's not a very easy thing to do. And I've never once ever heard him say anything or even act in any negative way. And for me, that's just truly inspiring, because I don't know if I can do that. Uncle Matt, I just want to say you're an inspiration to me, my parents, and everybody in the whole world. Keep on doing what you're doing. We love you.
We love you. Thank you, With Gratitude Matt listeners. Keep listening.
For those listening out there, today's show's brought a particular different twist to it than a typical With Gratitude Matt show, but I found it particularly inspiring because I got to rehear from some of the guests that we've had. And we've had some amazing guests, and I'm so grateful for them showing vulnerability, sharing their experience of how they've faced adversity, but really grown through that adversity and now are practicing gratitude on a regular basis. So I can't thank them enough. But I have to tell you, the thing that probably hit me the most was how our listening audience has grown individually through the practice of listening to the show on a regular basis. And I can't thank you enough for sharing your experience. Hopefully it helps expand our net as it relates to the With Gratitude Matt show. I can tell you one thing it has done is many of them brought me to tears as I listened to them as they were coming in. Hopefully it doesn't do that for you. That's not the intent. It's just to hopefully find more listeners that could benefit from the show that we're having. So I can't thank everybody enough for the work that they did in providing the materials that they did for this particular show. As we wrap things up, if today's show inspired you in some way, shape, or form, again, I'd like to ask you to share it with others, comment on it, and subscribe to our show. With Gratitude Matt listeners, until next time, find the courage to be grateful and wish everybody a happy and healthy 2023. With Gratitude Matt listeners, Godspeed, my friends.